Hello everyone, my name is Koh Chieng Mun. Today I'm going to show you a dish which everyone loves because it really whets the appetite. It's sour prawn curry with pineapple, Udang, Masak, Nenas. Well, here are the ingredients, and in just a while I'm going to show you how to prepare the prawns properly for cooking. And then we have the ingredients for the rempah, which is what makes the curry spicy and so very delicious. We also have the prawn stock. Now, instead of using water, we use prawn stock, which has been rendered from prawn shells. It's full of umami, and this is the secret to the recipe. And of course, we have pineapple, from which the dish takes its name, without which it won't be pineapple curry. And last of all, asam keping. This is tamarind skin. Tamarind skin will make the dish sourish and ever so delicious and appetizing. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's start with rendering prawn stock. Just heat a pan and put in the prawns, searing them slightly. When the moisture from the prawns is gone, you can add in a bit of oil and continue to sear them, turning once or twice until you can smell the sweet aroma of seafood. As I shared earlier, this is the secret to my recipe. You can use any size prawns. They can be small or medium-sized. Today, I'm using medium-sized prawns. When you see that the prawns are seared on both sides, add in water, a little at a time, to continue rendering flavor from the prawns. Repeat this process twice, and finally add in the rest of the water to cover and cook the prawns. When you see that the prawns are bright pink, they are cooked. Fish the prawns out and cool them with some water, or they will be too hot to handle. Deshell them and return the shells only to the pan. Many ask me if the peeled prawn flesh can be eaten. Well, they certainly can. Use them in salads or stir-fries as you desire. If you're using very small prawns, you might want to just continue rendering flavor by letting the tiny prawns remain in the stock. However, if you think the prawn flesh is worth peeling to be used later as an ingredient, then do it at this point. Leave it in the stock for too long and the flesh will become rubbery and tasteless. Return the water that you use for cooling the prawns and reduce the stock by half. This process takes about 10 minutes. You can see the clear liquid turn frothy, and as the stock is reducing, the color changes into a dusty pink. Trust me, you will not need any flavor enhancer. The version you find outside the home uses flavor enhancers, most of the time MSG. I guarantee that you will not find a weird aftertaste nor react badly when you use prawn stock in this recipe. The final step is to remove the prawn shells from the stock and to sieve it to remove any tiny bits of shell that might have been left behind. The result of all this effort is a bowl full of flavorful stock. Our rempah today uses a thumb-sized piece of turmeric and a thumb-sized piece of galangal, 10 shallots, 3 to 4 red chillies, depending on their size, deseeded for more controlled heat, but leave them in if you like it hot. A small piece of toasted belacan and a bit of water. Blend well, but not too finely. Traditionalists will demand that the rempah ingredients be pounded, but blending does yield good results, so I use the blender. Rempah is the Malay word for spice. Rempah is the backbone of cooking for Malay and Peranakan dishes. Another important step I want to show you is the cleaning of prawns. The prawns are cooked whole, so start by trimming off the sharp serrated horn on the top of the prawn head. Then the whiskers. Turn the prawn around and trim off the feelers on the underside. After this, turn the prawn around again and cut into a third of the top of the body to see if there is an intestine to be removed. Sometimes there is an intestine in there, sometimes not. This one has one. Remove it carefully. And lastly, I'm going to show you how to remove a sac from the head. This I learned from a cook who knew that if he removed the sac, it will prevent those who are sensitive from getting an allergy from eating prawns. So cut through the tip of the prawn head and using the tapered end of the scissors, remove the tiny sac. It is a delicate operation, but essential, especially if you enjoy eating the prawn head. For sizable prawns like the ones I'm using today, the milk from the prawn head is particularly enjoyable, especially when eaten together with a spicy sauce. Well, it's now time to cook the dish. First, the rempah, which has to be fried over a slow fire until the spices are cooked and fragrant. The oil that was initially absorbed by the rempah must exude back out, and visually the oil separates from the rempah. Then, and only then, can you add the rest of the ingredients. So it is now time to add in the lemongrass, which has been smashed slightly to release its fragrance, the asam keping for a sour taste, the pineapple, and our secret ingredient, prawn stock. Instead of asam keping, you can also use asam pulp. Take 2 tablespoonfuls, add half a rice bowl of water and mix well. Sieve to remove asam seeds and add it to the rempah, like how I added the asam keping. When the rempah mixture heats up, it's time to add in the star of the show, large, succulent, glistening fresh prawns. Cook uncovered, or the prawns will become rubbery. As I mentioned earlier, any size prawns can be used. Because it is Chinese New Year, a more sumptuous dish is needed to bring in happiness and laughter, as the word prawn ha in Cantonese sounds like laughter. Have you heard of the phrase hi ha dai siu, which means to laugh out loud? Smaller sized prawns can also be used, as sometimes it is difficult to find large prawns. I always opt for freshness instead of worrying about the size of the prawns. Gently douse the prawns with the sauce, and when the prawns turn a succulent pink, they are ready. This dish is best eaten warm, which makes it easier to tackle the prawn head if you relish this most succulent part. When the dish is served, we don't hesitate to use our hands to peel the prawns and relish the food, slurping loudly with abandon. Don't forget to season with salt and pepper. That's all the seasoning it needs because of the prawn stock. Udang masak nanas tastes great eaten with freshly cooked rice. Make sure to douse the rice with a sweet and sour sauce. Well, and there you have it. Udang Masak Nenas, prawn and pineapple sour curry. Hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you have any comments, leave them below. My name is Koh Chieng Mun. Thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year.